It's always been a painful thorn, this inner voice that kept me torn, has pushed me down, has killed my peace. But now's the time for sweet release. I'm going all in, going all the way, till freedom shines within me. I'm going all in, giving into divine, till freedom's mine. I'm going all in. There's always been a clearer flow, the higher choice that lets me know, that fills my well, opens my eyes. These are all the reasons why I'm going all in, going all the way, till freedom shines within me. I'm going all in, giving into divine, till freedom's mine. Self-doubt and loneliness have no place in my wilderness. I fit into my skin just fine. So before I run out of time, I'm going all in, going all the way, till freedom shines within me. I'm going all in, giving into divine, till freedom's mine. I'm going all in, going all the way, till freedom shines within me. I'm going all in, giving into divine, till freedom's mine. I'm going all in. I'm going all
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.
or stare into the unknown. 'Cause you're a strong girl, you got this. I feel the fight in you. Strong girl, positive, you're gonna see this through. Like a straight up miracle, you're a force to behold. In the face of losing the race, you still go for the goal. You're such a strong girl, you got this. I feel the fight in you. Strong girl, positive, you're gonna see this through. You're my strong girl, you got this. I feel the fight in you. Strong girl, positive, you're gonna see this through. When in doubt, just reach out. We'll be here, have no fear. Such a strong girl, you got this. I feel the fight in you. Strong girl, positive, you're gonna see this through. Always been a strong girl, you got this. I feel the fight in you. Strong girl, positive, you're gonna see this through. Strong girl, strong girl,
Life is a winding road, no telling driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another Sunday talk and meditation with me, Reverend Derek, and the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center. Super excited for a new month, a new topic, a new theme, new things for us to explore, new results to get in our life, and just I find that the more we explore these topics every Sunday, there's just a deepening of my own personal understanding of what's going on in my life and the power I have to make changes. And some of you have shared with me the miracles that you are currently experiencing. So it's just great to be back here for another Sunday talk and meditation. Today, we're going to be talking about the law of divine compensation from the Marianne Williamson book by the same name, The Law of Divine Compensation. We'll get into more on that here in just a moment. Obviously, if you want to read the book as we're going along, you can get that on Amazon, Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson. So if you are new today, if you have never tuned into one of our spiritual talks and meditations, I just want to take a moment and tell you a little bit about our center. And if you're someone who watches us every Sunday, just a refresher on what it is we're here to do. So the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center was founded back in February when I became an ordained minister through the Pathways of Light Spiritual College. I wanted to create a community where people could get together, have talks like this, have meditations, and have some spiritual guidance along their life. Because I found in my own personal experience when I first got into spirituality and was trying to make some changes in my life, that as great as the books were and the videos and everything I was doing, the thing that really seemed to help me like jump ahead on my path and really helped me escalate, looking for a word, I can't find it. But helped me like escalate my progress was being part of a spiritual community. Being part of a spiritual community is very powerful because it gives you a group of people who don't necessarily believe the same things as you, but they're people making the same inquiry into the universe, to God, and changing their lives for the better. I'll also share with you with the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center. I am a student and a teacher of a book called A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is a metaphysical text that came out in the 70s. Contains no doctrine, contains no dogma. It is a book of universal spiritual themes and principles. So for you watching from home right now, it doesn't matter what your faith is. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, even if you're atheist. It doesn't matter what you are. The things that we talk about every Sunday are universal spiritual principles that you will find in all serious spiritual traditions. And on top of that, even if you're a person who doesn't identify with any specific type of faith, no worries. These are still the same things that no matter who you are, teachings of love, forgiveness, meditation, things that are very powerful to help you improve your life and the life of those around you. I'm going to pop up our vision and mission statement right now. I'm not, that's the wrong one. Where is it? So we are the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center. We have a vision of being a place for personal and planetary awakening. Each time one of us wakes up, all of us wakes up to a degree. The mission is to support awakening by living and teaching universal spiritual principles of love, peace, and joy. We do this by offering classes, workshops, and counseling that promotes the healing and transformation necessary for both our personal and planetary awakening. We take oneness very serious here. Oneness meaning that since you and I are all connected, what I'm doing in my own personal life to awaken myself is having a direct effect on everyone around me and everyone all around the world because we are one. So this work we're doing is not just about waking yourself up. It's about the chain reaction that occurs when the love within you remembers who it is and begins to spread like wildfire all around the planet, awakening people up so that we can live in a world where there is a greater sense of peace, love, abundance, and purpose. If you want to get more information about the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center, I invite you to head over to loveisgreaterthanfear.org. As I already mentioned, you're going to find information about counseling sessions, classes, our Sunday talks. You can join our newsletter and also make a donation if you so feel called. Ton of information over there on the website. So before we get into our talk, we're going to have our morning prayer. So I invite you, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. Dear God, we take this moment to just turn within to you, our source. And dear God, we invite you into our minds and into our hearts this morning. We invite you into our thoughts, our words, our actions. We recognize the beauty of this moment where we get together and explore our spirituality, move along our path. Dear God, with you in our minds and with you in our hearts, I bless the Love is Greater Than Fear Spiritual Center today, that whatever message needs to be revealed today is revealed. Whatever needs to be heard is heard. Whatever needs to be said is said. And I bless everyone who is watching today, recognizing that many of you probably came today with some worries, some concerns, some places where you're not at peace. I'm going to take a moment and just recognize the love within you that is the same love that is within me, that is the love of God. And take a moment to remember the truth of who you are, everyone watching, that we are beloved children of God. And dear God, we ask whatever miracle needs to occur for anyone watching today, that it occurs quickly. I also take a moment to bless everyone who is gathered today to explore their spirituality, the God of their understanding, whether they're doing that in a church, a mosque, temple, a spiritual center, a living room, wherever it is, dear God, I bless them, that their path to peace and awakening is full of joy and love and reminders of the truth of who we are. And together we say, Amen. So today we're talking about the book, The Law of Divine Compensation. Now, I wanted to talk about this for a very important reason. Hold on, let me get the beautiful graphic I made. There we go. All right. So I wanted to talk about this book for an important reason. Here we are. The theme for 2022 is a year of miracles. The reason we're talking about a year of miracles is when the year started, I took a look at my life and I thought, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to achieve? Who do I want to be? And I was like, Derek, I'm just ready I've hit this place in my spiritual growth where I've done a lot of the healing work. I've got a good job. I became a minister. I did so many things that I feel just set me up that I really just want to have a year of miracles. I really want to, I'm just really ready to blossom into a different version of Derek. And so that just became my mantra as we were entering 2022. It's just a year of miracles. There's a Marianne Williamson book called A Year of Miracles. It's a book of daily devotionals and thoughts and mantras. We share that every day on the Love is Greater Than Fear Facebook page. So definitely check those out and check out that book. But I felt like for me, I'm just like, I want a year of miracles. That's what I want. That's what I'm ready for. And I feel like A Course in Miracles has done so much for me in the healing department that now I'm in a place where I can just really create the life that I want. And I don't know all the details of what the life that I want is. I don't know all the ins and outs of what that is. In fact, I'm learning every day. The more we do these talks, the more we do these meditations, and the more I do my own spiritual work, the more I'm seeing, getting newer and deeper insights to who it is I want to be and just how I want to experience this thing called life in this such short time that we have here. And so we've been talking a lot this year about having a miracle mindset is a key component to having a miraculous year, as well as learning to be a place of love in your relationships. And last month we talked a lot about the spiritual journey. And so I felt like the next logical step in our conversation was to have a conversation on career, money, and work, because I don't know another subject in my life that has brought me more stress, more pain, more heartache than the subject of work, career, and money. Those things are so deeply connected to how we feel about God and we feel about the universe. If I think that my job and a certain amount of money is my source, if I've put all my faith into some things like that, then I stand on I don't stand on strong ground, because the ways of the physical world are constantly moving. And so we must be careful where we place our faith, and that we place our faith in God and not in things of the material world. And yet, we need things in the material world, right? We need a job, we need a career, we need money, we need all of those things. So I invite you to take a moment, and I want you to imagine with me. I'm taking a Dream Builder class by Mary Morrissey right now, and she asked this question in the class. I want you to imagine that it's 12 months from now, okay? And let's imagine that you and I, all of us watching today, have agreed that in 12 months, we're going to get back together and have a little reunion, okay? A little reunion of the people who watch this talk today. And so in 12 months from now, we get back together. And 12 months have passed, right? No matter what, like 12 months are going to pass for us. And when we get back together in 12 months and we start talking to each other and telling each other what transpired the past 12 months, what do you want to say you achieved? What do you want to say you did? How do you want to describe how your life is different 12 months from now? How do you want to describe how you feel about yourself? How you feel about your relationships? How you feel about your place in the world, your job, your career, how you feel about money, and what you're experiencing in job, career, and money. When it comes to those things, just take a moment and think about that. Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? What do you want to be doing? When Mary Morrissey asked that question in the class I'm taking, just took like a nice deep breath. And it's just this, and when you think about that question long enough, your mind starts to function differently, because 12 months are going to pass by, right? And 365 days over the next course of this year, you will have created a life. Now, what you will have created is totally up to you. You know, for those of us who might be going through anxiety, grief, depression, we have the choice to create another 12 months of anxiety, grief, and depression. For others of us, we might decide that we like how things are now, and we're just going to keep continuing creating the same thing for the next 12 months. But I suspect if you're watching this talk today, and if you're a part of the Love is Greater Than Fear spiritual center, that you fall into the third category of people who, when you really think about it, there is so much more you want out of life. There's so much more love you want to give to people. There is a deeper connection with your purpose you want to experience. And then I can also assume that you probably also crave more, what Mary Morrissey calls more money time freedom. I think it's fair to assume that about those of you watching this morning, that you want more passionate relationships. You want to have enough money to where you don't feel stressed out about money. The biggest problem with being stressed out about money is it constricts your creativity and it constricts your thinking. And it puts our faith in money and not our faith in God. And without our faith in God, it's really hard to stand on solid ground and powerful ground to make changes in our lives. So that's why I wanted to talk about the law of divine compensation this morning, and actually for the whole month of April. Now let's talk about what the law of divine compensation is. So we have this opportunity to create the next 12 months, right? And I'm sure you've all read the law of attraction. If you're like me, like that's how I got started into this stuff, was I read the law of attraction book by Jerry and Esther Hicks. I watched The Secret film. I really got into this stuff. The law of attraction basically is like attracts like, right? So let's say that, for example, you're a person who wants a new career, or you want more money, you want a new job, whatever it might be. According to the law of attraction, what you can do is just think about what you want, claim it, state it in a positive present affirmation. And if you do that enough, then you will in fact create that thing. So if you have a certain amount of money you want to make, you'll think about that number of money. If there's a job you're trying to get, or a new career you're trying to create, or maybe you're trying to get a raise or something like that, maybe you have a business idea. If you think about that enough, you will create that. Now that's true. The law of attraction is true, and that is how things work. The things that we think about are the things we create. Because God has made us in his own likeness and image. And being in his own likeness and image, we are powerful creators. God created us. We get to create our own lives. The only difference, of course, in Miracles says between you and God is God created you. You did not create God. So that's basically the law of attraction. Think about it and you will attract it and you will create it and bring it to yourself. And the law of attraction is true. And the law of attraction I've experienced in my life is a very powerful law. It's like the law of gravity. It's like the laws of thermodynamics. There are so many universal laws at play, and they're true. And the beautiful thing about spirituality, especially the New Thought movement, is they take an idea and a concept like the law of attraction and says, hey, this seems to be true for us. You go try it out in your life and see what your results are. Now, the law of divine compensation is a little different. I'm going to pop up a quote from the book for you by Marianne Williamson. Now, the law of divine compensation is from the book. Hold on, let me move that graphic for you guys to see. To whatever extent your mind is aligned with love, you will receive divine compensation for any lack in your material existence. From spiritual substance will come material manifestation. This is the law of divine compensation. So let's go through that one more time. To whatever extent your mind is aligned with love, you will receive divine compensation for any lack in your material existence. From spiritual substance will come material manifestation. This is the law of divine compensation. So the way the law of divine compensation is different from, let's say, the law of attraction, is the law of attraction is think this and we'll get this result. The law of divine compensation is telling us, think with love in all areas of your life. Just think with love, okay? Think with love, speak with love, act with love, make love the bottom line in all you do. And anywhere in life where you are lacking, you will receive compensation. God Also in the book, Marianne says that the universe is a love note from God, that God wants you to be happy. God wants you to be joyous. God wants you to be at peace. But God doesn't want you to be disillusioned about where all of that comes from. And then the tricky thing about the law of attraction is um, it's just not the highest form of thinking, because often it's thinking about, what do I want? What do I want to get out of this? And that's okay, but that's a limited type of thinking. The higher ground of thinking is, what would love do here? What can I do for others? Where am I not thinking with love? How could I be thinking with love in a way that transforms my life? Now, everything in the universe is created twice. First in our mind, and then in reality. So think about the chair you're sitting on right now. The chair you're sitting on right now, you're sitting in the second version of it, because before that, it was a thought in someone's mind. Someone had to come up and design that chair. Someone had to draw it out. Someone had to send it to a manufacturer. And then it became a thing. So everything in our life is first a thought in our mind, and then it's an experience. So I want you to take a moment and think about where you are when it comes to work, money, career. Where are you in those subjects? Do you struggle? Do you doubt? Do you get consumed by fear easily? Now, the law of attraction would say that you could think about what you want and get out of that. But the deeper problem here is that typically we have more faith and fear than we do love. We have more faith in the physical circumstances than we do of the spiritual truth. We have more faith that in our job or our credentials or our degrees or the amount of money in the bank account or even the amount of money that's not in the bank account. We have more faith in the way the things of the physical world are constantly shaping and shifting. And when our faith is in those things, like I said before, it constricts our thinking. And it makes it really hard for us to get those divine downloads of where to go, of who to be, of what to say. And so when we take a look at these places where we experience fear, where we're afraid that we won't get the job, or we're afraid we won't get the promotion, or we're afraid the money won't come through, or we're afraid to start that new business venture, we're afraid to write that book, we're afraid to do whatever it might be. That's when we get stuck. Course in Miracles has a line about how the world that we are, I can't remember this quote, the world that we identify with is going to be the realm that we experience. So if we're identifying with the realm of fear and the realm of doubt and the realm of limitations and the realm of the facts of maybe the industry that you work in, the facts of your bank account, the facts of your education or your age and where you are in life. If you identify with those facts, then you're going to be very limited in what you can experience in your life. And so what the law of divine compensation would have us do is step back from that type of identification. A Course in Miracles reminds us that spirituality is simply remembering who we are and identifying with that. We are not our fears. And the reason that we are so often so afraid is because things in the world change so much. Nothing in the physical world ever stays the same. And that's why we find so much comfort and peace when we turn within and we turn to God and we identify with that true nature of who we are. Now, as we're identifying with the true nature of who we are, from that energy comes forth a natural charisma. Like, have you ever noticed people who walk into a room and they've just got this great charisma around them? They've got this great energy around them. Charisma originally was a spiritual term that was referring to the spirit and the light within a person. And I'm sure you've experienced people like that. I know for me personally, like I work in phone sales, and I know that when I'm tapped in, tuned in, turned on, and I'm remembering who I am, and I'm living in a way that's just not limited by the outer world, that in phone sales I do a lot better because that identification puts you into like a spiritual groove. And when you get into that spiritual groove, it seems like magical things are happening for you all around. Some of the things that law of divine compensation will do once you shift from that fear back to love, your true nature, is it works like a GPS system. So many of you, when it comes to work, career, and money, have probably made mistakes. I've made mistakes in those areas. But the law of divine compensation is self correcting and self organizing. So that means is even if you made a mistake, let's say you made a big financial mistake. Let's say you did something that got you fired from your job, or you made a big mistake that just like ruined your career, whatever it might be. Well, God, the universe, the law of divine compensation is like a GPS. And okay, well, Derek made this mistake here and went left when he was supposed to go right. That's okay. GPS is just going to recalculate the steps to get you back on the right path. So it is self correcting. And the way we get it, we activate that self correction is when we go into prayer and we go into meditation and we say, Dear God, take this from me, change this. I atone for whatever mistake it is I made. And God does not judge us for this. And we should not judge ourselves for this because we all make mistakes. But when we go to God with a really deep, and we go to universe with a deep confession of, I made this mistake, please help. The entire universe being a friendly place, being a place that loves you, is going to help you self correct. Self correction first happens in the mind, and then we experience it in the life around us. The other thing that God, the universe, and the law of divine compensation does is self organize. So you've heard me say here before at the center that when we're talking about like goal setting, for example, it's not a good idea to think about what it is that you want. I want this, I want that, and this is how I'm going to do it, because that's limited because we have our ego mind, right? We don't always have divine clarity. And it's more important that we allow God to make those decisions for us. And why do we want God to make our decisions for us? Because God can see what's going to happen tomorrow. You might be thinking, I really want this job, or I want to write this book. I'm going to go do this thing right here. But really, there's something so much better for you because God knows your mind. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what you've been through. And he knows what you're capable of. And his plan for you will always be better, will always be a plan that makes you happier, that makes you more joyous, that brings you more money, that makes you more successful, that gives you wonderful relationships. So the law of divine compensation is going to be both self-correcting and self-organizing. We don't have to worry about the details. All we have to do is monitor our thinking. Am I thinking with love? Am I thinking with fear? And dedicate each day to hearing what God would have us do. So one of the mantras or the prayers from A Course in Miracles is, Dear God, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? You could sit down and use the law of attraction to attract to you whatever it is you want. But that's not the highest form of your spiritual power. And getting what you want, ego you want, physical body you want, won't necessarily make you happy. But if we can give this over to God and invite him into our minds, invite him into our hearts, then we can really have a completely different experience. Accelerate was the word I was looking for earlier. We can accelerate ourselves that way into a place of love, into a place of peace, into a place of joy. When we begin to identify with the love within us and we begin to recognize other people as the love within them. I do have another quote I wanted to share with you guys this morning. With every thought we think, we either summon or block a miracle. With every thought we think, we either summon or block a miracle. How powerful is that? So when you wake up tomorrow morning to start your Monday, to go to work, to look at your bank account, whatever your situation is with money, work, and career, what is that first thought you have in the morning? Is it, oh, I don't want to do this, or this isn't my passion, or I don't make enough money, or I don't have enough money for this, or or maybe you do have enough money, but it's not enough money for that business you want to start, that book you want to write, that vacation you want to take, whatever it might be. Or do you wake up in the morning with, dear God, where would you have me go? Who would you have me be? What would you have me say, and to whom? And tune into that love within you. And start thinking with love, and start speaking with love, and start acting with love. This doesn't mean we're blind to reality. This doesn't mean that we're going to be foolish about things if we think with love. I think there's a big myth in our culture that if we think with love, that it's like this airy fairy love, and it's just we're going to be foolish and we're going to get caught up in situations we shouldn't be with. But that's not the case. The case is when I'm thinking, speaking, and acting with love. And this isn't an emotional love. This is a loving awareness of the truth of reality. When I'm living in that space, I'm like a magnet for things that would truly make me happy. I become a magnet. Like when I show up to my job, let's take one of you, for example. Maybe one of you have a job you don't like. And let's say tomorrow, instead of showing up with fear, you show up with love, and you bless your job. You bless the people you're going to work with. You bless your customers. You bless the entire thing. Okay? Two things are going to happen. You do that for 30 days. One of two things are going to happen. Either number one, it's going to just totally transform your workplace to a place that is more on your level of vibration and thinking. Or they're not going to change, and God's going to call you somewhere else, because now you're thinking, speaking, acting in a different level, in a different vibration. And God will take you there. These principles are the same no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with relationship challenges and health challenges, this is all the same. We're just specifically talking about work, money, and career today. But these principles you can apply to any challenge that you are experiencing. Am I devoting my thinking, speaking, and acting to love? Because when I do that, that invites the universe in to come in and self-correct, self-organize, and wherever there is a lack or a limitation, let it be replaced with abundance and unlimited possibilities. That's what happens when we start to live in a place of love and not a place of fear. So how do we do this? We do this with prayer and meditation, right? We do this by monitoring our thoughts. We do this with prayer and meditation. We do this by getting up every morning and dedicating the day to miracles, dedicating it to love, dedicating it to peace, dedicating it to joy. And always, rule number one of miracle mindset is to be so tuned in that when you hear that miracle impulse, and what is a miracle impulse? It's that impulse, that intuitive impulse that says, apply for that job. Don't do this. Go there. Talk to that person. Give that person your resume. Oh, here's a great business idea for you. Write this book. It's a voice that is telling you 24/7. It's communicating to you what to do, who to be, the truth of who you are. And when you live within that energy, it just completely transforms everything in your life. Before we go into our meditation, I do have one last thing I want to read to you from Marianne Williamson's book. I just think this is a beautiful paragraph from the book. It was too big to put on the screen, but if you guys want, I'll send it out to you later. This is from the end of chapter 1. Perhaps you thought you'd get to where you wanted to be financially through achieving a certain credential, doing a particular job, or making a particular investment. But then something happened. The economy worsened. You made a mistake, or someone else did. The law of divine compensation gives us the assurance that the universe will simply create a new route. What is lacking shall become abundant, and what is wounded shall be healed from out of the blue or miracle mindedness. Miracles will flow forth naturally. Why? Because perfection is your eternal home, to which the universe is programmed to return you when you have deviated, for whatever reason, from the thoughts that get and keep you there. That is how loved you are. And that's the bottom line of the law of divine compensation. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter what you've been through, doesn't matter what mistakes, you are loved by the universe. And the universe will self-correct, the universe will self-organize, and it will take you and put you back on the path where you were meant to be. So we're going to go into our meditation now. And meditation is so important. There's all kinds of practices, there's all kinds of styles of meditation and prayer, but it's so important in your daily life for creating miracles. So if you find yourself in fearful thinking, if you find yourself needing miracles, I encourage you to start a meditation and prayer exercises that will really have a deep effect on you. So let us go ahead and just take a nice couple deep breaths. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And let us take 3 deep breaths in through our nose, out through our mouth. And so we're just taking a moment to turn within, allowing our bodies to relax, allowing our minds to relax. Letting any outside sounds push us deeper into our meditation. Knowing that in this moment, all is well. And thoughts will come and thoughts will go. Just let them be. No need to judge them. There's no right or wrong way to do this exercise. The universe loves you. God loves you. There is a light of love within you that shines brightly. That light loves you. You are supported. You stand on solid ground. You are safe. Just continue focusing on your breathing. And I invite you to call to mind an area where you're not at peace. And this could be related to today's subject on work and money and career, but it could be totally different subject. Wherever you're not at peace, call that to mind now. We don't need to call to mind the emotions and the details, just enough of the subject that God knows what we are talking about. And I invite you to ask God for guidance in this area. You could say this out loud or quietly in your own mind. Dear God, what can you reveal to me about this money problem, relationship problem, health challenge? Dear God, what wisdom can you share with me about this place where I'm not at peace? And we'll just take a moment and sit in this silence and wait for God to reveal an answer to you. You might see colors, hear words, get a feeling. Dear God, what would you reveal to me about this place where I'm not at peace? And so you might have gotten an answer already. Your answer may come later, may come in the form of a thought, a realization, a conversation with a friend, video you see on the internet. But your answer will come. And dear God, we invite you even more deeply into our minds and hearts this morning, that you will guide us throughout the next few hours, the next few days, this next week, until we get together again, helping us to grow, reminding us of who we are, living in that space of love, where we can transform, heal, and experience miracles. For today, we remember that love is greater than fear. And we dedicate our minds to love. And together we say, Amen. And as you feel comfortable, begin to bring your awareness back to the room. And open your eyes. Thank you for joining us this morning. As you already know, we are a nonprofit with a pending 501c3. We and our entire everything we do every Sunday and everything that we are going to be doing this next year and as the years go, we can do because of your generous donations. So if you're not already familiar, you can make a one-time donation, a monthly contribution to Love is Greater Than Fear Center on PayPal. Just use @loveisgreatercenter. That information is also on our website, loveisgreaterthanfear.org. Right now, the money that we are, the donations we're getting are helping us take care of that 501c3 so we can legitimize ourselves as a nonprofit. The goal is to raise $1,100 in the next 60 days. That's going to pay for the paperwork, the documentation fees, the attorney, but everything we need to do to get that ball rolling. Ultimately, what this is going to do is allow us to continue doing what we're already doing, right? To, have our Sunday talks, our Sunday meditations, and all the services we offer on our website. But ultimately, this is going to help us grow the center. And I am seeing in my mind a building at some point in the future where we can all get together every Sunday and just have a more personal relationship, really get to know each other and support each other along this journey. So if you feel called to make a donation, if you feel that this service has helped you in any way, you can go to loveisgreaterthanfear.org, click on donations to learn more, or just head over to PayPal @loveisgreatercenter. Next week, we will be back. And next week, we're going to be talking about the power of faith. So if you're anything like me, I've always had an interesting, I don't know why it's not showing it right. There we go. I've always thought faith was kind of a strange thing. I didn't grow up in a religious household, didn't really know what faith was. I thought faith was just like blindly following something. Then I heard Marianne Williamson say that faith isn't blind, it's visionary. So next Sunday, we're going to be exploring the topic of faith, and we're going to continue. That's the next chapter in Law of Divine Compensation. Remember, go get this book on Amazon. It's like $10. It's a short read, but it's really, really powerful, full of some great information that's really helped transform my life over the past couple years. So I think that's it. Y'all are amazing. I love all of you. And until next time, be sure to love one another, and I'll see you soon. There we go.